Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a flip through for the month of June in my Hobonichi cousin, looking at all of my yearly, my monthly, my weekly, and my daily spreads. So if you'd be interested to see kind of what I did for the month of June, then go ahead and keep watching. So the first thing I'm going to do is, first let me talk to you guys about how chunky my planner has been getting, or my Hobonichi has been getting. My previous video, I had the cover that I put back on this, and it got to where I didn't like the bulk of having the cover on top. So I just took it off, and I think I like this better. I like the cover, but I think once it gets to like the halfway mark of the year, while I know this is not nearly as chunky as others, I've definitely seen other people with much chunkier Hobonichi cousins. I just personally don't like the bulk of having the cover on top of it. So I'm planning on only having my cousin like this for the rest of the year, but please don't hold me to that because I do change my mind pretty consistently and it could be different tomorrow. So anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and flip to my yearly page. And for this page, I use it as a mood and a habit tracker. So this piece over here is all my mood. I have only 4 moods for the month of June, which is great, good, meh, and bad. And then I track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 habits. We have read 30 minutes in brown, vitamins and meds, that was in like that teal color, workout is in gray, Etsy sale is pink, closing my rings is in yellow, and then 64-ounce water is in the blue. But that's kind of the habits that I track. So looking at this, my habits for my reading and my vitamins, I get every single day. I read every day, and if you'd be interested to see any of my reading, like what I read and how often I read and all that kind of stuff, check out my reading channel. I actually just have a YouTube channel that I started about a month and a half ago-ish, and it's all about reading. So if you'd be interested to see what I'm reading, how I'm reading, tips on how I read, all that kind of good stuff, then make sure you check it out. So I read for 30 minutes every day. It's never really a question whether I'm going to read or not. So I've read every day in the month of June. My vitamins and meds, I have a very good habit in the afternoons. I always take my medicine, so there's never been a day that I've not taken my meds. And then we get to the gray is workout, which I have hit my workout goal every single day. There are gaps in my habit, but those are planned gaps because I don't work out 7 days a week. So I've done my workouts, have been perfect. Etsy sales have been bleh, miserable. I did not have one sale in the month of June, which really sucks. But I don't know what happened. I was doing really well last year and I don't know what happened. It just, my Etsy sales went downhill. I don't know what was going on, but I just have not been able to turn it around. I do have new stickers out there, so if you do read and you want some like reading stickers for like your Kindle decoration or whatever, please check it out. I'll also have my Etsy shop listed here, but Etsy's have been miserable. And then closing my rings, there's a really clear like correlation between when I work out and when my rings are closed. So pretty much any time that I work out, I usually had closed my rings at the same time. So those are pretty consistent. There are days where I did not close my rings while I also did work out. But those are usually because I was sitting at my desk all day, I was reading all day, so I wasn't moving and things like that. So those are kind of understandable. The other habit that I have on here that I need to do better on is 64-ounce water. I do tend to drink more water the days that I do work out, but even when I do work out, I've noticed that my water has gone downhill. And I was trying to think about it, and I think it's because it's getting so hot now, which we're gonna see next, but I think it's because it's getting so hot now, I don't want to go outside. And so before, like in April and in May was kind of miserable with my water, but specifically like in April when I really started tracking my water, I was going outside a lot more because it was more like the springtime and I was outside more, so I was always bringing my water, whereas now it's so hot, I don't really go outside very often, so I'm only inside sitting, and I don't grab my water. So I have my Stanley here, and I filled it up this morning, and I'm only halfway done. I really need to drink more, but regardless, I did have some days that I drank 64 ounces, but more often I did not drink 64 ounces. So that's definitely a goal I need to start working more to do. So now we're going to move on to the monthly. And for the monthly spreads, I use this as a weather tracker because if you saw any of my previous like monthly flip throughs, I just moved to Alabama and I'm trying to see what the weather is like here versus where I came from in Georgia. So I'm using this kind of to track the highs and the lows just to kind of give me an idea of how the weather typically flows in the area that I'm at. So every day I track what the weather is, what the high temperature and the low temperature is, and at the end of the month at the very bottom I'll put down what the highs and the lows, the range was. So in northern Alabama where I am at, the highs for the month of June ranged from 77 degrees all the way up to 94, and the lows ranged from 59 degrees to 73 degrees. So these 90-degree temperatures that really started hitting the end, like the very last week of June, like those are the highs, not counting humidity. So humidity was like cranking it way up, but that's how I use my monthly spreads. And now we're going to go to the weekly spreads. So we're going to flip to the first week in June. I'm going to count it as this week because I think this week, the May 29th through June the 4th, I think was in my previous flip through. And so you can see that. You'll be able to see the links and everything. But so we're gonna go and kind of take a look at this week. This is the week of the 5th through the 11th. And for this week, I ended up trying to use a Tombow for the highlights of all of my planned appointments and my work schedule. And then I was going through some old washi that I used down here. I also had I think it was like a happy planner. I went and bought those like sheet of stickers, like the books of stickers that are made for like the happy planner. So I went through and just picked out some extra little floral stickers that I did find that would work here. So I use the top piece, which if you're new to my channel, thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe. But if you've never seen any of my Plan With Me's or anything like that, I use the top piece of the Hobonichi as like my active time frame because I work at 6 a.m. Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday. And then, so from 6 until like 9 o'clock, which is this piece right here, this is where I document all of my work, my appointments, all that kind of stuff. 9 o'clock to around midnight, I have this little section that is after everybody goes to sleep at my house. And that's kind of what I document as like me time. And that's where I'll list like if I'm reading some books or if I'm doing laundry or whatever the situation is. That's where I'll document here. And then this last piece after midnight, from midnight to 4 in the morning, this is usually the section that I use to document my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just to try to hold me accountable for what I eat. That's what the kind of like the flow of my Hobonichi looks like week after week. So that's this week. And then we'll flip to the next week, which is probably the week that I was most excited about, but also nervous about for like planning purposes. So this is the week that I went on my first beach vacation in probably 13 years. No, not 13 years, like 10 years. The last one I went on, my oldest daughter was like 3. So went to the beach, my oldest daughter and me. I left my youngest with my husband, but we went to the beach with my sister and her 2 kids, and we spent Tuesday through Friday morning at the beach. And so I ended up, because I didn't have like a true like appointment or I didn't go to work, I was afraid of how I was going to, I'm not gonna say afraid because this is my planner and I can do whatever I want to with it. But I didn't want to have just a 4-day chunk of just blank. So what I ended up doing, which I really do enjoy, is I have my Canon Ivy, which I usually link all of my favorite things for using in my Hobonichi. I'll link them in the description box. But I have my Canon Ivy, and I ended up doing like a 4 sticker or 4 picture collage, and ended up printing them out and using like all the different pictures that I took at the beach, or not all of them because there's a lot more, but I took some pictures at the beach to kind of document what I did during that time. So we have that on like Tuesday. I drove to the beach and it took about 5 hours, and then we got to the beach, immediately went to the beach. This is my oldest playing in the sand. I took my book. I was reading Happy Place on the beach. And then we have other pictures of my daughter and my nephew. And then we went putt-putt. They played in the beach again, played in the beach. Like, it was just, I really liked the way that I incorporated the pictures into this spread without just having just a big blank space. So that was this week. There was a lot of beach vacation, hot summer, water, like little emojis everywhere. So that was this week. And then this was the week of the 19th through the 25th of June. This was me using my Sterling ink subscription kit. I do have a plan with me for this week. So if you'd like to see kind of how it started out, this spread looked very, very, very different at the very beginning of the week. I don't like busyness. I'm a very minimalistic type person, but I do enjoy the way that this looked and how you got to see the pictures, but then you also could see what I did during that week. And then this is the last week of June, and this one was another plan with me that I did. This was a kind of a shop my stash type spread. I didn't have any stickers that really spoke to me for this week. So what I ended up doing is I found the Midnights kit, the extras that I did not use earlier in the year. And then I just used a Tombow to kind of highlight some of the appointments. And this one was a much less decorated spread, but I'm okay with that because, like I said, I'm a very minimalistic planner. I use this functionally, so it's more important for me to see what I did during that week than to see stickers all over the page. So that takes care of my weekly spreads, and now we'll go ahead and jump to the monthly. And so for the month of June, what I tend to do on this blank page is I'll usually have like my reading list of all the books that I plan to read for that month, and then I'll go back and check off the ones that I did read for the month of June. And I do have also on my reading channel a like June wrap up. If you would like to hear me talk about any of these books, make sure you check out that channel. And then these were some extra little Sterling ink stickers that I did have from my subscription kit. And that's what I use for the very first page of each of the month in my Hobonichi Cousin. And then I have on the daily pages, this is where I document like as a journal. So I use this as a planner and then also as a daily journal. So far for 2023, I have journaled every single day, something at least. Sometimes I don't fill up a full page, which is fine, but I do document something on every single day. So we have this. I do use the like Coffee Monster Co. emojis, and I also use my Canon Ivy to kind of help me document what happened during that day. So on the first, we went to the pool. It was really hot and sweaty, so that kind of tells me what this page is about. This was also this was a Saturday. This was me at the pool. I had taken my girls again to the pool. On this day, I was also reading a bunch of books. I wasn't feeling very good. I don't know if it was because we had Chick-fil-A that night or the night before. I don't know what it was, but I wasn't feeling very good on this day. And so that was not great. And then nothing really happened of this. This was also the first day of summer school. My youngest went to summer school for the month of June, which she was very thrilled about. She loved going to summer school, which was amazing. I was nervous she would not like it, but she did. And then this was me doing a countdown for the beach. This is also the day that I paid off my mortgage. So my husband and I had done a lot of planning and a lot of saving, and we were able to pay off our mortgage completely. So that was a huge, huge, huge day for us. And we were so excited that we are able to say that our house is paid off in full, and now we're in the saving phase again. So then we have this. Nothing really happened. Again, just doing the countdown to the beach. This day I was kind of tired. We had this day Zoe had woke up, my youngest had woke up crying that her tummy was hurting and she had a temperature, and she wasn't feeling that great this day. This was also the last day of my work until I had to come back after my vacation, which I was extremely excited about. And then we have the 10th and the 11th. Nothing really happened, just a normal day. Nothing really, no emojis or anything that kind of stuck out to document something big that happened that day. And then we have this was the one day before the beach trip, so there was a lot of packing bags. And then this was the very first day of the beach This was the happy place. I already had kind of had that picture on my weekly spread, but very first day that we went, took my book, was relaxing on the beach, and there was actually a pirate ship. It had an engine in it, so it wasn't a true pirate ship, but there was a pirate ship that was kind of going up and down the coast in front of our Airbnb, and it actually had, like, it sounded like cannons were firing like a true pirate ship would do, but it was so cool just seeing that. The kids got a blast out of seeing that, so that was pretty cool. And then we have more pictures. That's my oldest at the beach with my niece, and that is I don't know if you can even see in this picture, but my daughter, my niece, and then my nephew is over here. This was them burying my nephew. They dug a huge hole, like actually a very, very, very deep hole, and they ended up burying him. It was actually really hard to try to pull him out because of how deep he was and then how much sand was on top of him. So it was really fun. And this is just a picture of the coast while we were standing on the beach. And then we had the drive back home, which was very sad. I was very tired and exhausted. We had my youngest had some tantrums, and she has her moments of that. Then we had Father's Day, which was on the 18th. We had the 19th was a holiday. I had some like computer issues on that day. I don't remember what I was doing. I'm not sure, but I had something to do. Oh, actually, I think I was just in a very frustrated mood because my last sentence of this day was, is it too early to start a countdown to retirement? Approximately 7,000 days to go. So apparently I was not having a very good day that day. So then this was the back to work, did some reading that day. I did end up switching to my new Muji pen because my old Muji pen I had used from May the 12th through June 21st, and I ended up using it to death. I have never gone through a pen that fast. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if that means that it doesn't come with much ink as other pens, or if I just was writing a whole lot and I had to get a new pen. I don't know how to take that statement, but I did have to switch to a new Muji pen because I literally killed my old one that I was using. And then we have on June the 22nd, my Coffee Monster Co. sub box got shipped on the exact same day that one of my orders came through. So I was really excited that I got my new order in. They were just other like little stickers that came in. I didn't have a really big order. I typically don't have a really big order because I don't want to spend a big massive amount of money on a bunch of stickers all at once. I would rather refill my stickers as I use them. So this was a smaller just sticker order that came in on the exact same day that my sub box got shipped. So then this was on the 24th. I ended up taking my youngest. It was basically like a day of just me and her. So we went to the playground. This was us swinging on the swings. It's one of those like dual swings so that I can sit facing her and we can kind of swing together. And then afterwards we went to ice cream because we spent about 90 minutes at the playground and it was so hot. It was 91 degrees out. But it was so hot after spending 90 minutes kind of at the playground, we decided to go get some ice cream. So that was fun. We had this is the 26th. Apparently something was happening. Oh, this was me crying. I finished watching Daisy Jones and the Sixth on Amazon Prime. I read the book and I wasn't impressed with the book. It just wasn't my cup of tea. And so I wanted to watch Daisy Jones and the Six on the episodes to see if this would be one of the instances when I would like the movie more than I liked the book. And it actually did. I was crying during the last episode. It was so good. I actually really enjoyed the film adaptation much more than I liked the book. I know that's probably not what others think, but you know, that's just kind of how I feel. And then on Tuesday, I had this sticker here because I cannot remember. It came I don't know how it came to be, but my husband and I were talking about the different like left side, right side brain, and then creative versus like analytical. And I am much more left brain, which is more the analytical side, and he is much more the right hand lane because he would rather spend time like painting and like designing something, whereas I'm just like, throw it on the paper, that's not important, let me get to the bulk of like the data or the actually like writing my to-do list. Like, let me do that. I don't care about what it looks like, or like I'm not gonna be stressed about trying to get the right color or the right tone more than I am about what's actually in it. So we had a discussion on the left brain and right brain, and I'm definitely much more left analytical and he is much more right creative. So I just, for some reason, decided to write that down. And then we have on the 29th, my subscription box actually came in and I got some new washies. I did get like a little clipboard, a little miniature clipboard, and all the stuff that I'm sure that you've seen on other Coffee Monster Co. sticker videos. But I did get my subscription kit, which I absolutely loved. This was also the last day of summer school, so this was the last day that my 5-year-old would be out of the house until school starts again. So that was a very good day. And then the last day was the 30th of June, and this day we decided to go bowling. It was my oldest, my youngest, and then we brought one of my oldest friends bowling, and I actually got a picture of her bowling, and you could see it's just about to knock all the pins down, and then she ended up getting a strike, so this was her mid jumping. So yeah, so that was, it's a good time. It was a lot of fun. And then this is going into July, so we'll talk about this when we do the July wrap up. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everybody who has made it this far. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see everybody in my next video. Bye.